Hello and welcome to Not Fake News. Behold, every single reporter is in shock after First Lady Melania Trump did this morning. Story by Paris Wade out of Liberty Writers. Our new First Lady Melania Trump made her debut on the international stage this morning. What beauty, what grace. Every single reporter that has trashed this poor woman out of pure spite will be forced to back the fudge off this after this. It's nice to have somebody with such dignity, beauty, and grace back in the White House. Melania Trump and Akay Abib are visiting Palm Beach, Florida today. Watch.
This is a Fox News Alert. I'm Elizabeth Pran. Happy Saturday morning to you. First Lady Melania Trump making her debut on the diplomatic stage. These pictures just coming in moments ago. The First Lady touring Murakami Gardens in Delray Beach, Florida with Akay Abe, the wife of Japanese Prime Minister. The gardens are inspired by Japanese designs, the visit marking Mrs. Trump's first hosting of another world leader's spouse. Later, they'll visit the museum in Delray Beach. And last night,
My dear, the media has absolutely been slandering Melania Trump. She's taken a lot. Let's show her some love on this Saturday. Give Melania Trump a put up in the comments of this article. That's it. Say something nice about her and then hashtag share this article with 3 other people. She does deserve that. She's a nice lady. I got another article here. Burn, baby, burn. Trump just ended the New York Times with one tweet that exposed their lies. President Trump has no great love for the lying mainstream media. However, there are 3 he hates most of all. The Clinton News Network, the Washington Compost, and most of all, the New York Slime. Last night, he blasted the New York Crimes for telling a huge lie to the American people. They claim President Trump hasn't spoken to Chinese President Xi Jinping since November 1st. Wrong. The failing New York Times does major fake news China story saying Mr. Hai and I had not spoken to Mr. Trump since November 14th. We spoke at length yesterday. The tweet read, the failing New York Times does major fake news story. I just read that. Not only did President Trump have a long call with President Xi, he managed to make peace with China by reaffirming the One China policy and open door to trade and negotiations. So not only did he speak to him, but he also made peace with China when they did speak. Now, does that sound like not spoken since November 14th? No, I didn't think so either. Hell, even China confirmed that it was a good phone call. While it loads, I'll read this. Of course, the New York Times had since updated their story. However, the print version from yesterday was never changed. They claim their deadline forced them to print the not updated version.
President Trump explicitly said that he and the U.S. administration, the U.S. government, adheres to the One China policy. You know that this One China policy, this One China principle has always been the political basis for a sound, healthy China-U.S. bilateral relationship. And also that provides a good safeguarding for all the cooperation between these 2 important countries on all the fronts. It was a very good telephone conversation. The 2 leaders actually had not only a lengthy discussion, but a very cordial discussion covering a wide range of issues, covering, for example, not only the bilateral issues, but potential cooperations on world and regional aspects. Both leaders agree that the China-U.S. relationship is a very important bilateral relationship, and it has great potentials on many fronts at the bilateral, regional, and international level. For example, on the bilateral level, both leaders are quite interested in deepen our cooperation in economic, trade, investment, scientific technology, energy, and people-to-people exchanges, all these kind of areas. So there are a lot of potentials, and we believe that actually the cooperation between these two countries in all those areas could be beneficial, not only to the two peoples, but maybe to people at large.
Okay, now what I'm about to tell you, what I'm about to say here, is not just a one-time thing. What I'm about to tell you here happens hundreds of times a day by all different news companies. They telling lies, and then the next day they retract the lie, but 200 or 20 million people or a million people read that lie already and believe it, and they don't see the retraction the next day. That's a new tactic by the left and the mainstream media. That's what they're doing. And they're doing it by the hundreds. And so you take one, for example. If one paper tells a lie and a million people see it, and then they the next day say, sorry, that was wrong, that's a million people who saw the lie and have spread it to their friends because they believe it. Now multiply that by maybe 10, 20 times a day, maybe 100 times a day with different newspapers and articles all around the world. Okay, it's called misinformation, it's called creating a narrative, it's called lying, and they're hacks, and that's why not fake news is doing so well. We're doing extremely well because of these lying jerks, and the people of America and the world need true facts. Real news. Of course, the New York Times has since updated their story. However, their print version from yesterday was never changed. They claim their deadlines forced them to print the not updated version, but that sounds kind of like a cop-out. The fact of the matter is that Trump had already spoken to the Chinese president before the paper was ever distributed, and they made no real effort to correct the record. If you're glad that Trump is holding the press accountable, then show him his support and share this out everywhere. Thank you for watching. Comment below and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already subscribed. And once you subscribe, you hit the bell so you're notified of the updating news updates that we post each and every day. And if you like what we're doing here at Not Fake News, please like our video. Give us a like. We really appreciate that. That is, how we move further. Thank you, everybody. God bless, and God bless America. See you next time at Not Fake News.